Hello and welcome to the April 24th episode of This Week in Kirkland, the official podcast of the City of Kirkland, bringing you timely topics and noteworthy news delivered to you every week. I'm your host, David Wolbrecht, Communications Program Manager here at the City, filling in for Jim Lopez, who is out this week. And I'm joined today by two members of the podcast team.
Kate Ryan.
And Nate Gettleman.
Welcome, Nate, to the podcast team.
Thank you.
Yeah, behind the board, up on the mic.
There you go.
Hey. And we are joined today by our special guest, Kate Schmiett.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Happy to be back.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Happy to have you back.
Yeah, I love having you on.
Yeah. Kate, what are you doing for fun these days?
Smelling spring flowers the second they bloom and
Oh my
are
goodness.
smellable, and playing with
Yes.
my pug. As always, he's a perfect creation. I mean, in that he's flawed in every single way, but
Well,
but in a
beautiful.
perfect way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, what a metaphor for life.
I know.
I know
Love
he's
it.
very deep.
Nice.
You are very deep.
Yeah, I think, our job is done here. Well, any flowers in particular that are drawing you in?
I mean, the lilacs just started popping this week, so that's my favorite.
Oh, I was smelling those yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
That's my husband's
And-
favorite. I'm gonna pick him some today.
And we have a beautiful day here in Kirkland today.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so
Oh my
gorgeous.
goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had
Yes.
a stretch here of some pretty amazing weather. Is that right? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Definitely filling my camera roll with flower pictures. It's extreme right now. So
That's right.
beautiful.
In
Well,
a good way.
yes.
thank you,
exactly.
Kate. Glad to have you. We'll circle back with you and hear all about the Earth Month offerings. You're kind of the capstone of the Earth Month kind of run we've had.
Oh,
here,
wow, I'm
so-
honored.
Yeah. I mean, no pressure, but it better be good.
All right, I'll do my best.
She'll bring it.
But before we get into all that, here's what's going on this week in Kirkland. So let's start with a shout out to the people who make Kirkland shine, our volunteers. Kate, more for us.
Yes, this week is National Volunteer Appreciation Week.
Woohoo!
And we just want to say thank you to all of our amazing volunteers from public safety support, teen programs, boards and commissions, event helpers. There's just so many people in our community
So
that make
many.
our community great. And we want to celebrate, and we love to do that at Community Appreciation Night. And this year it's going to also include State of the City. That's happening Tuesday, May 13th at 5:30 at the Kirkland Performance Center. Everyone is welcome. We're really looking forward to that night.
It's so fun.
Yes,
I
it
went
is,
before.
right?
It's so fun.
Yes.
Food,
There you go. You've heard it here.
food,
It's
fun,
Yeah.
fellowship.
There you go.
Register today. Well, May is Bike Everywhere Month, and it's coming up. And we'll be celebrating Bike Everywhere Day on May 14th. Nate, tell us more.
Yeah, that's a busy week here in Kirkland. To the very next day,
that's
May,
right.
Exactly.
May 14th, you can stop by celebration stations for goodies. Look for them at Evergreen Point, Ferreton Spur Park, and spots all over the east side. Dust off that helmet, Dave.
Yeah.
Because your skull is worth protecting.
Hey,
There you
well,
go.
thank you, Nate. So is yours.
Yes, biking is a fun way to celebrate sustainability and get your legs moving.
Yeah.
Have you gotten a jump on your celebratory biking yet?
I actually have. Yeah, I biked to work
Yeah?
yesterday.
Oh, wow.
This past Monday and the Monday prior. And-
Impressive.
Oh, well.
Well, me and Dave are neighbors, so I know exactly how far you came.
Yeah, for sure. And
Nice.
I'm out of shape. I'm
Not for long.
But you're
Oh my
doing
gosh.
it.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Well-
dusted off that helmet by buying a new one at REI. Good fun.
Well, which hill is worse, Market Street or going back up 132nd?
Good question, Nate.
Oh.
Actually, neither, because that's not the route I'm going.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
going through the village at Totem Lake, across the TLC bridge.
Oh, very
then,
nice.
down the CKC, then
Oh, that's
Nice.
great.
past Peter Kirk Elementary up to City Hall.
Very nice.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely the village at Totem Lake, back hill, back up to Evergreen Health. Brutal. Anyway, hope to see you out on the trail and biking
Yes.
around town, folks.
Yeah, sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Well, while you're out biking, is there a tree in Kirkland that makes you stop and smile? One that just has that wow factor? Kate, what's this all about?
So we're running a top 10 Trees of Kirkland contest.
Ooh,
yeah.
top 10
That's so
trees.
cool.
This was a brainchild of our arborist, very creative,
Awesome.
awesome person. It's a way for us to celebrate Earth Day and Arbor Day. We want to know what your favorite trees in the community are. So go ahead and submit your favorite tree. We'll have a link in the show notes, and we're going to reveal the top 10 picks on May 20th, just for the community to have fun and go explore
Amazing.
the favorite
I
trees
love
of
that.
2025.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trees are so important. That's so
Yes.
cool.
Oh, love it. Well, if you're looking for a refresher course on what to do in a disaster, we have you covered. Nate, what should people know?
May 1st at 1 p.m., May 1 at 1. Our Office of Emergency Management is holding a disaster preparedness presentation in the Peter Kirk Room at City Hall.
Nice.
You'll learn easy steps to help you and your loved ones stay safe in a real emergency. Trust us, it is worth an hour of your time.
Absolutely.
No registration required. Just mark your calendar and come on in.
Wow.
Sounds
that's amazing.
easy.
Yeah, great opportunity, folks. Well, the next meeting of the Kirkland City Council is on Tuesday, May 6th.
Yes, we'll have a preview of that meeting in next week's episode. Council meetings are streamed live on the city's YouTube channel, Facebook page, and on the city website.
And you help make that happen, Nate.
Yes, brought to you by yours truly.
Yes, you're behind the scenes switching up those cameras.
All those late night city council meetings.
Indeed. Thank you.
And they do
you.
run late occasionally.
Yeah, that's true. Well, a quick safety reminder, folks. It's National Work Zone Awareness Week. Kate, tell us about that.
Yeah, so WashDOT, the Washington State Department of Transportation, has some interesting facts on us. Interesting facts for us. Most of the people injured in work zone crashes are actually drivers and their passengers, coming in at 96% of the injuries. And last year, Washington State had over 1,600 work zone related crashes recorded on state highways.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So don't be one of those. Slow down in work zone, stay alert, follow the speed limits, do everything that you need to do to keep the workers safe, yourself safe, your passengers safe.
Really important stuff. Well, a couple upcoming events for you to check out. Nate, what do we got going on?
Yes, Heritage Park, one of our city's crown jewels, is having a beautification happening May 6th from 12 to 2 p.m. This is
Nice.
part of the Parks Beautification program that gathers the first Tuesday of every month. You can also join the Senior Art Show opening reception on Friday, May 9th at 5 p.m. Art of all mediums will be on display for you to enjoy.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Well, talk about our amazing volunteers.
Yes.
And of course, we always have all the info in show notes for you to enjoy. And that brings us to our 5 over 5. 5 questions in absolutely more than 5 minutes.
Yes.
Kate Schmiett, welcome back to the podcast.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, we're always
Yes.
excited
What
to
a
have
great
you.
way to start the day.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Kate, oh gosh. Okay, I'm realizing I have 2 Kates and a Nate. That's great.
So great.
It's also a new sitcom coming this fall to
Yeah.
ABC.
Are you feeling left out, David?
Maybe I need to be. I don't. Date feels
Date.
weird.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, maybe a good listener can write in with a suggestion for my nickname.
Perfect.
That rhymes with 8. Kate Schmiett, please remind us what you do for the city.
I am the environmental education and outreach specialist with the stormwater team.
Okay.
And basically what that means is I get to help people in Kirkland understand how our storm system works, how it's connected to our local creeks and to Lake Washington, and how the actions that we do in our everyday lives, whether those are at home or at work or while we travel, how those all impact water quality in those creeks and in that lake, and also at our homes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's so great.
Wonderful work.
I know it
Best
like.
job in the city. I always say that, and I still mean
awesome.
Yeah. Well.
I'm guessing you don't want to hear about all the dumb stuff I dropped down drains as a kid.
it.
Correct.
I want to hear about it, and I'll hold a judgment-free zone as long as you don't still do that.
I do not still do that.
Fantastic.
There you
Well,
go.
hey,
Then
we all
education
learned.
worked.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I will say I was embarrassed that it took me a long time to really comprehend what stormwater
Totally.
was.
Yes.
You know, I would like hear the word, read the word, and be like, yeah, and then like, but I didn't really kind of grok it for
Totally.
a while.
Yeah.
So,
Basically, it's
yeah.
all the water that falls from the sky, not coming out of your pipes for your drinking water and your shower. So the storm and surface water part of the city manages the storm drains, which help take all that water that runs off of our roads and off of our rooftops and manages it so our houses don't flood and sends it to the creeks and to the lakes so that all works.
Amazing.
It does. It is amazing. But of course, since it's running off all those streets and all those rooftops and driveways and stuff, anything that's happening on our properties is impacting that water downstream. So,
Quick question for
Yeah.
you. If you have a storm drain in front of your house, are you responsible for keeping that clear?
you definitely should. If you don't want to have localized flooding in your neighborhood, yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Well-
And also the city will come through and clean it on a regular schedule, but that regular schedule probably doesn't keep up with the leaves that fall on your storm drains. So definitely
Yeah.
keep that storm drain clear.
I know
There you
growing
go.
up, that was like one of my dad's favorite things to go down. Like at the base of the cul-de-sac, he would, like, there was one that always seemed to get clogged. And I just have a lot of, like, he'd like tromp out with like boots and a rake and like I don't know,
I
clear
love
it out.
that.
Yeah.
When we had a crazy storm last month,
Yeah.
it was raining so hard, and I saw a dad and probably a 6-year-old girl kneeling down in the pouring rain to clear off their storm drain.
Oh,
So I
wow.
pulled the city vehicle over really quick and just went to go give her a high five. Be like, thanks for helping clean the storm drain off.
Nice.
Nice.
And then you made a lifetime storm
Yeah.
drain cleaner out of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I hope
Exactly.
so. Also, it was the highlight of my week because she was really cute.
Wow. Well, win all around.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so it is, of course, Earth Day and month.
Woo woo.
Oh, wait, is today actual Earth Day?
No, that was Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. How embarrassing. I should know that.
It's okay, David, because you know what they say. Earth
What's
Day
that?
is every day. So
Thank you. Thank you, Kate
There you
Schmiett.
go.
you
Yes.
didn't miss it. You're just catching this one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. That's amazing. I love that reframe. So, in addition to tending to pipes and drains and high-fiving girls who are helping clean out storm drains, what's going on for Earth Month? Like, what?
Totally. And these aren't just for Earth Month because, again, Earth Day is every day, especially in Kirkland. So these are programs that run all year.
Yeah.
But one of my jobs, it's not actually just high-fiving kids, although that'd be awesome. I run a couple of rebate programs. So one
Okay.
of them is the tree rebate program.
Ah.
And that is a program open to all Kirkland.
You could call it the Treebate
Residents.
program.
So my colleague's going to be so happy with you.
Yes.
She's been trying to get us to call it tree baits.
Yeah.
And I want to. I agree. I just can't quite get the habit going yet. But I like it.
Okay.
Any reinforcement on tree baits.
There
I'm
you
Just
into
get a
go.
nice graphic or something.
I love it.
All
Yes.
right. Appreciate the creativity here.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Hey, you come to the podcast, you get, solutions, you get branding. We're just your own creative consultancy.
Absolutely. That one's for you, Marissa. Shout out to you and your tree bait idea. You've got fans.
So tree rebate, I think we've heard about this in the past, but
You
can
have, but like
tell
quick,
us about what
quick
is
rundown. Open to all Kirkland residents. Go on our website and you can find out more. I'm sure it'll be in the show notes. But the quick and dirty is that it is up to $500 per property per
nice.
year and up to $150 per tree under that.
Okay.
And it also covers things like compost and mulch and watering bags to get your trees through our long dry summers. Make sure your little baby trees survive. So pretty easy to make use of, and we will give you a rebate check after you send in your stuff.
Nice.
And we've also got prepaid certificates if doing an out-of-pocket expense for that is too much for your budget. We've got a way to work that out, so check it out.
Okay, so
Amazing.
it is, a lot of people are getting out in their yards and gardens and stuff.
It's
so
that time.
It's that time, so just want to make sure that I'm clear. People can sign up and then they can go buy a tree up to and get money back for that, up to $150 for that tree. And they can also buy
Well, and you can buy more than one tree. So you can buy like 3 trees and some compost and some mulch, maybe a watering bag, get up to that $500.
gotcha. And then they
Cap,
just
yeah.
submit receipts and whatever, and they get cash back.
Yep.
And the benefit here is just
Wow.
like a better environment. Like we get everybody in the community gets trees.
Totally, all across the board. So we're trying to get our tree canopy up in Kirkland, but also from a stormwater, from a surface rainwater perspective, trees are great because their roots break up the soil and they let more of the rainwater that falls on Kirkland filter down into the soil, which means it's not running off the streets
okay.
all at once, hitting those creeks all at once during a storm, causing erosion, stuff like that. So
Wow.
anytime we can slow and filter is great, and trees are an important part of that.
Nice.
Wow, slow and filter.
Slow and filter your rainwater wherever you can.
Yeah, I was like, that's also a coffee method, I think.
Yeah.
okay.
Makes better coffee, makes for better creeks.
Love that.
There
There
you
you go.
go.
You can use that as your tagline.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Okay, so tree rebates happening now.
Yep.
Okay, all info in the show notes, of course. Also, you're here to talk about Yard Smart.
Yeah, so
I think Gina was on recently. We were
Yeah,
chatting
did
about
a
Yard
great
Smart.
Boston accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, in memorience of Jim. Yeah,
Yes.
it's Matt.
Yes, exactly.
he'll be back. Gone
Yeah.
but not forgotten.
So, elaborate for us on
Yeah.
what is Yard Smart.
Yard Smart's more of that slowing and filtering program.
Okay,
so
it's the coffee end of the spectrum.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we talked about those rooftops and driveways. Those are what we call impermeable surfaces. Water doesn't soak in, which means it runs off quickly and then hits those creeks, causes erosion. So we want to slow and filter that. So instead of it running down into the storm system, your property might be able to like disconnect a downspout and redirect some of that water into a rain garden or some native landscaping.
Oh,
Okay, so instead of it just being piped directly out into the street and then it goes into the storm drain.
Yep, or some,
What-
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
or similar.
Yep.
What you're saying is actually disconnect it so it doesn't go out to the street and it stays in your yard.
Yep.
But you then have landscaping in your yard that doesn't just like run over a lawn or something.
Yeah, so
It'll-
just
yeah.
exactly like
Okay.
just like trees, some native plants have nice big deep roots. They can help break up that soil. They help that water soak down into the ground,
Okay.
and then you get pretty landscaping that isn't an annoying lawn that dries out every summer and costs a lot of money to water.
And you get free irrigation
I mean,
for-
when it's raining.
when
yeah.
it's raining. Okay,
But
gotcha.
a lot of the plants
Around
that are
here.
planted are
Yeah.
native plants. So after the first couple of years, they shouldn't need any irrigation.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I have a dilemma that might not be so unique to me. I am interested in diversifying the flora of my yard.
Wonderful.
Yes, I know next to nothing about gardening. Where can I start? Where can I go to find some native plants that I can plant that would be less maintenance and more healthy for our environment?
I love that question. King County's got a great resource for your particular site. So you can select by like sunny, but it's damp, or like sunny and it's dry, or it's shady and nothing grows here.
Wow.
So that's a great resource. We've also got a native plant DIY planting guide. But you can also have me out to your house for a Yard Smart visit,
Oh,
and
wow.
then I can
Oh.
see if you're eligible for our rebates, which are up to $5,000 per single family property,
Wow.
or $10,000 for a bigger property or like a multifamily. So if any of you are listening
Okay.
that falls into that category, we would love to see you.
Wow.
But even if you're not eligible, I'm happy to give you a little advice on some plants.
Well, thank you
So-
very much.
Wow.
Okay, so I just heard another dollar reference there.
Yeah,
So
let's break that down.
Yeah, let's unpack that a little bit.
I like money.
Me too.
Well, especially when you're doing good with it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So okay, so for the Yard Smart program,
Yeah.
you're disconnecting downspouts, you're getting water flowing, filtering, slowing down through a
Totally.
yard. You do that by planting stuff.
That's one way to do it.
One way to do it. What's another way?
Another way to do it is if you have an old asphalt driveway that's in need of replacing and all that water is just running into the street right now.
Right.
And you're thinking about replacing that anyway, you might consider replacing that with permeable pavers.
Ooh, what are
And-
permeable pavers besides a like tongue
Great
twister?
They are
alliteration.
quite the tongue twister. They are a special way of laying down some pavers with a nice gravel base under them. And so when the water falls on it, it just drips down into the driveway instead of running off.
Nice.
Are those the driveway? I feel like I've occasionally seen some where it's like the little paver stones and then there's like grass like growing up in them. Or
Typically, they don't have grass growing
Oh,
through them. At
okay.
least not the way that the Kirkland plans recommend. So you're not going to be dealing with weeds and stuff.
Ah,
You're
right,
going to
right.
be because there's enough gravel underneath that's not really an issue.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
But it allows full infiltration of
Amazing.
the water.
Okay.
Yeah, and those are also eligible for Yard Smart rebates. So
Wow.
Very nice.
So if someone was like, hey, we need to replace my driveway anyway,
Yeah.
this might just be a way to really kind of boost their budget by
Absolutely.
getting this rebate. And hey, it's a benefit to all of us.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
it's slowing that water, getting it back down into the ground.
And it's at least worth checking out, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. See if it's a possibility.
Might not be possible for every property, but
Yeah.
if it is for you, love
Then
to
hey,
help you
check
out.
it out.
And you
drive-
don't have to be a scientist because we have Kate
Yeah.
here to explain it.
Yeah.
I'm
You
not
can
a scientist
connect-
either, but I can help connect the dots for
There you go.
Hey,
My,
well,
my driveway was cracked in the 2000 Nisqually quake, so
Oh.
a replacement
Wow.
might be in order.
Wow.
Wow.
25
Yeah.
years
It
later.
It might be time.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, and so folks can get tree rebates to plant trees.
Up to $500.
They can also get Yard Smart rebates up to $5,000 or $10,000 if they're like a multifamily or like a business or something.
Yeah, we've done it for a couple churches,
Oh,
which
nice.
are really
Oh, okay.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Nice.
And that's similar, like plants and all that sort of land. Now,
Yeah.
can they get rebates for like labor, like if they hire a landscaper?
Totally.
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So you can do it DIY, and
Okay.
then for Yard Smart, you can get up to 100% of your costs back, or you can hire a contractor, get up to 75% of their costs back,
Wow.
and do none of the labor yourself, not the design, not the digging, none of it.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Okay.
This is an amazing program.
Amazing
Oh,
program.
Programs. Plural.
Programs.
Yeah,
Wow.
I have a fun job.
Yes, you do.
And you get to high five little kids who are helping out.
That's just the cherry on top.
That's the cherry on top. Wow.
Nice.
Well, now we've talked a little bit about the benefits of these, but Kate Schmiett, can you elaborate a little bit on, like why does the city kind of provide these benefits to our community?
Totally. And there's a lot of reasons. So from a human health and enjoyment perspective, like a lot of kids are swimming down at Juanita Beach Park in the summer. We want them to have clean water to swim in.
Right? Because all that water just goes directly down into the lake.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we don't have like a big filtration system or anything.
Almost all the water that falls on Kirkland runs straight to the creeks and then to Lake Washington without being filtered or treated in any way. So
Okay.
all the car oil, all the dog poop, all of it.
Okay.
Is just going
All the
straight
all
to
of it.
All of it goes right there. It's
pretty gross. So
and we love swimming on our beaches here.
I
so-
sure do. Yeah. So definitely humans and
Okay.
human health is a big reason that we do this. And then also, I personally, and I know a lot of other people in Kirkland, are motivated by making sure we have healthy habitat for wildlife in
Yeah.
Kirkland because we love seeing them and we love that they're out there doing their thing.
Absolutely.
So this impacts the health of salmon. This impacts the health of birds and beavers and all the things that make our creeks and Lake Washington home, which it turns out is a lot of things.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I bet. Well, you mentioned
Yeah.
fish, birds, beavers.
Yep.
What else do we have?
We've got some cool amphibians.
Oh,
We've got,
right. Little frogs.
Ooh, yeah.
We've got frogs. We've got newts. We've got salamanders. I got to
Aw.
go out and see some salamander eggs in one of
Oh
the
my
wetlands
goodness.
with our wetland ecologist last year with,
We-
with my big waders on. That was a good day.
That's
Nice.
amazing. We actually, so where we live, we're near one of the outflows of Totem Lake. And every once in a while, I think it's just in the spring, might be in the fall, but we'll come out of our door and we're kind of down at the ground level. And there'll be like a salamander
Cool.
who's
Aw.
like, I think they like fall down like into our little kind of entryway thing. And they're like, sometimes they're no longer with us.
Sure.
They're dead, but sometimes they're still alive. And so we'll like pick them up and stuff. But it's just like, I'd never really seen many salamanders or newts or anything before.
That's so cool.
Further than
Yeah,
that.
living
Yeah.
near Totem Lake, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's a great wildlife hub in
Yeah.
Kirkland. I love it over
Lots
there.
of bullfrogs in the summertime too.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure. Yep.
bullfrogs are invasive too, so don't encourage them. They actually eat the little babies of the other native amphibians.
Oh,
So
that's
Oh.
wow, this took
don't
a
love them.
brutal turn.
Is there a bullfrog bounty out? Can somebody make money collecting
There are
bullfrogs?
places in the country that have done that exact thing.
Oh,
Actually.
wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think we have one in Kirkland, but
Okay.
maybe you could start one.
Not a rebate eligible
Right.
No,
thing.
please
Okay,
don't
gotcha.
bring me your bullfrogs.
Okay, got it. Okay, you heard it here first.
But look, Kate, I got rid of an invasive species.
And I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
But I can't fund it.
yeah. Well, okay, so it's good for people. It's good for the environment. It's
Yep.
good for the like non-human beings
Absolutely.
that inhabit this place that we call Kirkland as well.
Totally.
Amazing. Well, Kate, we want to play a fun game with you, as we like to do
Yes.
here on the podcast.
I'm hyped.
Yes.
Let's go.
Kate Ryan, do you mind telling us a little bit about the Stream Team Trivia?
That's right. So we'll say a statement, and you tell us whether it's true or false, and share some of that awesome Kate Critter wisdom that you have with us, okay?
I can do that.
All right.
Critter Kate.
Yeah.
Are you
Oh.
Critter Kate?
You
Is
can
it-
call
is
me
it-
Critter
Oh.
Kate.
Can I call you Critter Kate? and
There you
then
go.
Call you Podcast Kate? I don't know. All right. No. I don't like it. I don't know. We'll keep workshopping
It was almost there.
Yeah, it was almost there. We'll have to watch the sitcom, 2 Kates and an 8.
Right.
Right.
Premiering this fall on NBC.
Yes. See how the nicknames shake out.
There we go.
All right. So here's the first statement. Ready?
Ready.
Tree roots can actually help prevent flooding by absorbing excess stormwater.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, we
ding,
kind of
ding, ding,
learned
ding.
this
We
during
already
the
learned this.
episode.
Okay.
Do you want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
I
Always.
mean, it's not really a funny story, but it's an illustrative story about that point. I went out on a Yard Smart visit last year, and this lovely Kirkland resident was asking me, like, why is my yard suddenly flooding? Why I never had soggy lawn before, and now it's so soggy. Like, what is going on? And I said, did you cut down any trees recently? And they said, I didn't, but my neighbor did. My neighbor cut down trees right on the
Whoa.
other side of the
Really?
fence. And I was like, well, there's your answer, because the trees were drinking up all that extra water,
And now
and now they're not.
the dirt
Wow.
is drinking
And
it up.
so they were
Okay.
having flooding problems in their yard because their neighbor had cut down
Oh,
the tree
okay.
right next door. So
Wow.
So now I think you're a scientist, but you say not a scientist.
No.
How about a detective?
Yes, I was going to say, I was like,
Scientific
That's
detective.
amazing.
Yes.
There was
I
a
will
mystery
take it.
and you solved it.
thanks. I guess I did. Yeah.
You're basically like Batman.
Man, I will take all of this. This is great. Come here more often.
That's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that story.
For sure.
Okay. True or false, you can help otters and muskrats by planting native plants in your yard.
It's true. Even if you're not close to them at all, even if you're way up on a hill, because all of the plants up there are helping the water quality all the way downstream. So,
Okay.
There it is.
yeah, there it is.
We are one
Awesome.
connected ecosystem.
Amazing.
Yes.
Also, planting native plants, just going to do a little plug here, reduces habitat fragmentation, which is when, like, we still have all the things we need in an ecosystem, but they're just really far apart because animals have to use more
Oh.
energy to travel between those different places where they are. So, like, little
wow.
native pollinators and stuff, they're just going to have an easier time the more natives we put in.
Ah, gotcha.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Planting native plants. Always
So
a good
many
thing.
benefits.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Kate.
Oh, yes. Okay. Next, true or false? Washing your car in your driveway is no big deal.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought this up. That's false, and it's actually illegal for anything other than rain to go down the storm drain. So if you
Okay.
have been doing that, please stop.
Okay.
The best thing to do is to take your car to a commercial car wash because they filter that water. If you can't do that, you can roll up some old dirty towels or something at the bottom of your driveway and kind of make that water go into your landscaping where it can kind of break down and filter it. So if you're going to wash at home, that's a good option, or you can pull it up onto your grass if you've got grass to pull it up onto.
Okay.
The reason is even biodegradable soaps run down the storm drain. And even if they do eventually biodegrade, before they do that, they're throwing off the balance of the creek. So they can affect like the pH, or they can have nutrients in it that cause algae blooms and stuff like that. So
Ooh, okay.
You don't-
Not a
No
good
go.
thing. Yeah.
only rain down the drain.
There
if
it
you
is.
remember nothing else from this
Okay.
podcast, only rain down the drain.
Only rain
Got it.
down the drain.
No,
Yep.
but what abouts? Just
No, but
only
what abouts?
rain down the drain.
And
Okay.
we'll discuss what Nate put down the drain
Yes.
after this podcast is over. But I bet it wasn't rain.
Mostly firecrackers.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one's spicy.
The waterproof
That's a
ones.
hard no. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
please do not.
Well, last question. Beavers can hold their breath for 5 minutes underwater.
And that would be impressive, but it's false because
Okay.
they
Okay.
can hold their breath for 15 minutes underwater.
Whoa.
That's
Seriously.
crazy.
It's
They're
so
just
crazy.
little walking lungs.
There are too many fun beaver facts for me to even pick just one. Like, their teeth are growing their whole life, and the front is harder than the back. So, like, as they're gnawing on those trees, they're constantly sharpening their own teeth to keep them chisel
Whoa.
sharp, right? I know.
Crazy.
I know.
Okay.
Well,
They're amazing.
this is why we threw in a beaver fact, because you have so many great
Oh my
beaver
gosh.
facts.
Oh my gosh, they're so cool.
This is awesome.
Okay, my favorite beaver fact is actually not about the beavers themselves. It's about the
Okay.
impact they have on the ecosystem. 'Cause
Oh.
people freak out when they suddenly notice they have a beaver neighbor, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, beavers are terrible neighbors. I have to get this thing out of here." And there are some cases where beaver relocation might be the only option. And
Okay.
like
Okay.
we acknowledge that,
Accept
and we
that,
work
yeah.
with the Snoqualmie tribe on that sometimes.
Wow.
I know, it's really cool. But there's also things we can do, like there are things called beaver deceivers, which gotta
Ooh.
love that name.
Beaver deceivers.
Beaver deceivers.
Wow.
And you can put those like around a storm drain pipe or something like that. So the beavers are still doing all their work, and they feel like they're damming up everything. They're getting their job
Good
done.
job.
All right.
But your house isn't getting flooded. So,
Nice.
and meanwhile, they're increasing the wetland ecosystem because they create that water going out, and that also sends water down into the groundwater, which helps water your tree roots, which helps get them through our longer and drier summers, and it like promotes species diversity. They're little ecosystem engineers, man.
Wow.
They're amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beavers are
Truly.
great because they look at any running water and just think, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Not
Stop
on my
that
watch.
right now.
They're-
Wow,
yeah,
that's amazing.
That is so amazing. Well,
Thank you for knowing so much, Kate.
yeah, absolutely.
I like knowing about beavers. It makes me happy.
For
I hope
sure.
Yeah.
it makes you all happy too.
yes, yes. it
Well,
does.
Kate, thank you so much for being on the podcast. We've had a blast as always.
And learned a ton.
Yeah, and like just creating opportunity for people to get some rebates
Yes.
for making their yard a
Yeah.
better place.
Absolutely.
It's
There's
amazing.
always something that we can do to help the world, right?
That
So
is right.
any little thing we can do, let's do it.
All right,
Love
let's
it.
go.
And on that note, don't forget to grab your tree rebate for
That's
your
right.
yard.
And that does it for this week. You've been listening to This Week in Kirkland. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Our next episode is May 1st. Until then,
Stay connected, Kirkland.